I'm at an Imbera village in Panama, going to receive a blessing from the local Imbera Indians to guide us and help us on our travels to find the birds and the wildlife that we're looking for. I've been marked up with the fruit of the hagua tree, and I'm now about to receive my blessing. Let's go birding.
Ina imbana kumania pura suerte bara bamania pura wambruma pura suerte bara baita imbana kumania wabe maungaita pura.
I've received my female blessing to give me the luck that we need on this trip to find the birds and the wildlife we're looking for. I'm now going to receive a male blessing to give me the strength on this particular journey.
Idea waride mabura fa bura. Hanya koma ba mana troana waharada puji wanguruma. Panama ne Europa da ida North America e Sur America da wangurida. Po imbana bera bada ba mununu ba de makina ba khawazi. Man kana idea waride mabura ne fa bura imbana pe dia de ba pe de. Pura mana da be de bara. Gracias. Da be de bara. Hanya koma ba de bara. Khawazi. Man kana mabura bura.
Thank you very much. Let's go birding.
Now is the time of your life. Oh, now is the time. It's a sweet ride to the end of the line. Now is the time. It's the right time to come alive. Now is the time of your life. Oh, now is the time of your life.
Smoking ponies. Did you see that bird? This is the perfect habitat for this bird. Yeah. That's what I call birding. Awesome. That's our golden bird. The long S-shaped isthmus of Panama offers the best of two great birding destinations, Central America and South America. This week, our birding adventure centers around the army ant swarms and the birds that attend them. The trail that we've been following has led us right to this mass of army ants. And this is going to be perfect for us later in the day. We're going to come back here and try and see what these army ants are up to and try and find some of our birds that we're looking for. In particular, our golden bird for this week is the fascinating black-crowned antpitta. Our base for the search of army ant swarms and ant birds is a beautiful place called Canopy Tower in central Panama. Whilst looking for army ant swarms in the jungles of Panama, we came across some very, very beautiful birds. In particular, my favorites were the family of trogon species. There are 5 species of trogon that are recorded frequently around Canopy Tower Lodge. This is one of them, the slaty-tailed trogon. And this is a male. You can see its bright red breast and its green back. Many visitors to Panama recognize the fact that Panama deserves its reputation as a mammal hotspot of the world. On our trip to Panama, we came across countless different species of mammals. The highlight of this trip, searching for ant swarms and antpittas, was a tiny little anteater called the silky anteater.
Hey James, look what is here.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. We've got a silky or a pygmy anteater. It's early in the morning, smoking ponies. This is something you do not see every day. These silky anteaters normally require a continuous canopy so that they can go out and forage at night. They're entirely nocturnal, so it is very, very rare to come across one of these in the early morning. These silky anteaters will favor cyber trees or silk cotton trees. You can see him exploring this particular tree, trying to find out if it's big enough. Going up and down, crawling down the branches. Nope, doesn't look like this tree is going to cut it. He's now going down to the ground. He's going to try and cross by foot along the ground until he finds a suitable tree.
This is really cool mammal. in 8 years I've been working at the canopy tower. This is the second time I've seen this mammal. As a kid, when I started exploring the forest, like 8 years old, I used to find a couple of those, and we call it tapa cara, which is like covering their face. They also have a defensive mechanism, like a boxing. So they always, throw their claw there when they feel threatened. So they're really cool mammal to see, and see it in the daytime is perfect.
This is an amazing sighting. This little silky anteater is no bigger than my hand. It's a tiny, tiny anteater, the smallest of all the anteater species, the silky anteater. What we're hoping that he does here is that he's able to make his way across, bending those branches down, maybe making his way across to one of these trunks, because this is a great tree for him. If you look further up the tree, I can see that there's a termite nest there. He'll have food, and this will be a great tree for him to find his way up into. It's also linked to the rest of the canopy. Let's see if he can do it. Oh yes, he's climbing up that vine all the way up to the main trunk. Let's hope that he gets up to the main trunk. Look at him go. Is he gonna do it? Come on, little guy. Come on, little buddy. Yes, he's got the main trunk. This is good news. This little guy will hopefully be able to find a place to curl up for the rest of the day. And hopefully he'll be able to make this tree his new home, unless he actually fell out of this tree in the first place. The next morning, after our encounter with the silky anteater, we chanced upon another anteater of the forest, a northern tamandua. And it wasn't coincidence that we came across these anteaters. We were looking for ant swarms, there were army ants in the area, and this northern tamandua wasn't even aware of our presence until the very last minute. Check that. Look at this. We've got I think it's a northern tamandua. We've got a northern tamandua climbing up the tree here. Look at her climbing. They've got semi-prehensile tails, which enable them to grip onto the trees. She's climbing right up there into the top of this tree. There are two species of tamanduas, the northern tamandua and the southern tamandua. And this is the northern species. They're normally identified by a black V on their back. The one that we've just come across was on the ground foraging, and she made her escape straight up a tree. And they feed predominantly on ants and termites, and even occasionally on bees. An incredible little anteater, the northern tamandua. This morning we're birding the legendary Pipeline Road, close to Canopy Tower in Panama. This is one of the best places to see birds in Panama, and it's named for this old pipeline that runs along the Panama Canal. After World War II, the US Army built this pipeline to ensure that they had a supply of oil between their army bases in the Pacific and the Atlantic, in case the Panama Canal would be attacked. And today, this pipeline has never ever been used, but is still one of the best places to see a huge variety of birds in Panama. The best way for us to look for the variety of ant birds is to search for an army ant swarm. And on our very first morning at Canopy Tower, we actually chanced upon a nice swarm of army ants. And in attendance were a whole host of different species of ant birds. These army ants are so voracious. When we were watching the army ant swarms, we literally saw animals scattering in their paths, lots of insects, and in fact, we even came across a tarantula. So there's a whole swarm of army ants underneath us here. This is a male tarantula. It looks like it's a male because the female will be about the size of my hand. And this male tarantula has climbed up this little tree to try and escape these army ants. These tarantulas have an undeserved reputation. They really are not that poisonous to man. And in fact, they can be fairly docile. Look at this little guy. See if he'll climb onto my hand. Look at this tarantula on my arm. He's going to be safe up here because he's going to be safe up here because the army ants are passing beneath this tree. But they don't deserve their nasty reputation. They really are fairly harmless creatures, and they very seldom bite. Tarantulas are incredibly opportunistic. The bigger females will prey on animals, anything really bigger than them, lizards, reptiles, other insects, but also they'll even prey on mice, small mice, anything that they really can get their jaws on. As I said, this looks like to be a male. It's a lot smaller than what the females will be. Females will be about this size. Oh wow, look at this on my leg. He's going. Let's let him go. The variety of antbirds weren't the only predators taking advantage of the army ant swarm. We also came across a very rare lizard, one of the alligator lizard species, and this was a treat to see. Of the hundreds of species of reptiles in Panama, this is probably the most bizarre and unusual. This is Caritophanes cristatus, or the crested lizard. Look at this little beauty. He feeds on thousands of insects per day, little insects. And they're almost like a mixture between a chameleon and a lizard. What a beautiful little guy, the crested lizard. Antbirds is a general term for a whole variety of birds that feed on insects disturbed by army ant swarms. Look at this fasciated ant shrike. Looks like a zebra with feathers. Beautiful bird. Look at its shrike-like bill. It'll use to catch little lizards, amphibians, insects, anything that it can get its bill on. They're quite voracious predators, and they'll often follow army ant swarms as well, looking for any insects or anything disturbed by the ants. Panama is one of the best places to see the variety of different types of antbirds. This is a spotted antbird. You can see him sitting on that twig calling. And this is one of the birds that likes to follow army ant swarms. That call right there is a bicolored antbird, and this is a bird that only follows ant swarms. So it means that there is an ant swarm over here. It specifically follows ants to get at the insects that are disturbed by the army ants. This is good news. If you listen in the background, that's the call of a streak-chested antpitta. It's a gorgeous little bird with long legs that follows army ant swarms. Let's see if we can call one in. Beautiful, we got one. Just slow down. Awesome, look at this little bird. This is great. Oh yes. Streak-chested antpitta. What a beautiful little bird. It looks like a tennis ball with legs, hopping around the undergrowth. Now the name Antpitta is a little bit misleading, because although they do follow army ant swarms, they're feeding mainly on the insects that are disturbed by the army ants. And what this Antpitta is doing right now, flicking its wings continuously as it feeds, is it's turning over leaves and leaf litter, looking for insects under those leaves. This is a bird which is quite common in this area, but it's very seldom seen. It's more often heard than seen, and you can see why. They're very cryptically camouflaged. They spend a lot of their time in this thick, dense understory of primary rainforest. We're on a 2-hour journey to the cloud forest of Canopy Lodge, and we had to stop in at Carlos's house, visit his family, and have a quick beer. Cheers.
Let's go birding.
Adelante, arriba, esa palmita, vamos, arriba,
Our golden bird, the black-crowned antpitta, is an incredibly tough bird to find. We headed out early on the first morning from Canopy Lodge. If you want to know why so many people haven't seen this bird, this is it right here, Remote Birding 101. One of the reasons the black-crowned antpitta is such a difficult bird to find is it will not be found close to human habitation. You have to travel fairly far to remote areas of undisturbed foothill forest in Panama. This is prime habitat for our golden bird this morning, the black-crowned antpitta. This is going to be very, very tough. But we're in a fantastic environment. We're 900 meters above sea level in the El Valle area, and this is cloud forest, primary cloud forest. There's a big mist band that's moved through here. It's early in the morning. We're going to try for our golden bird, the black-crowned antpitta. We were very lucky to have one of the best local guides in Panama, Carlos Bethencourt, who took us out looking for this golden bird.
The first time I saw a black-crowned antpitta, it was tough. It was very, very hard. I think I just got to see the black crown, but I was so happy with what I got to see that head of the bird through the jungle, hidden behind trees, branches, shrub. Not an easy bird to get, but I got to see that head. When I came back, I had a good drink for that bird.
Searching for this black-crowned antpitta was a trip. I mean, we were sitting in the middle of this path, waiting for this bird to come past. It kept doing a circle around its territory, and we were waiting to try and get a glimpse of it. And it was very frustrating because it would give us a glimpse for about 2 seconds and no longer.
Sometimes with this bird, like antpittas, you have to learn to read what they're going to be doing. They can be very difficult, but if you learn the movement, their behavior, and their habitat, you pretty much can predict where they're going to sit. So we're going to keep working on it.
This is so thrilling. We've got a pair of black-crowned antpittas circling us here in the forest. And what we're trying to do is anticipate where they're going to land. They love mossy logs and rocks. So we're going to try and get our cameraman set up to film them, hopefully running along a log or on a rock. This is going to be very, very tough work, but we're going to stay at it. Carlos, is that another bird? It sounds like there's 2 birds here. I think we've got 2 black-crowned antpittas here. We've got a pair doing their circle around their territory. We're going to stay here, stay put, be patient, and see if one can come into view. Look. Where? On the back. On the log tree. Got him. Nice. This black-crowned antpitta is one of the most beautiful of the antpitta species. It's a large antpitta, and it's got this beautiful streaking and marking and blotching on a white belly, and it's also got this beautiful black crown with a nice russet coloring on the back. This is a stunning antpitta, probably the most beautiful of all the antpitta species. Oh man, Carlos, that was so awesome, man. Thanks so much. That's our golden bird, black-crowned antpitta, right here in El Valle with my good mate, Carlos Bethencourt. Awesome, bro. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. You're welcome.
Getting to know all the different species of antbirds was a great experience for me. I haven't birded extensively in South and Central America, and it was really great to spend time with Carlos and learn all the different species of antbirds, their calls, their habits, and their habitat. It was a treat.
I love birding in my country because Panama is such a special place. The nature, all the wildlife, the butterflies, the amphibians, the reptiles, everything is so connected that when you go birding, you just not only see birds, but you get to see cool monkeys, cool mammals, and it's just by birding. You get to see so much just by being out in nature. I will recommend people to come to Canopy Tower and Canopy Lodge because we specialize on birds and we know birds. So we're a lodge that is from the birder to birders. So we know what the needs are and what they're looking for. And we have a whole team of guys ready for people to come to Panama and take you out for a great experience. Birding adventure for me has been an incredible experience. I didn't realize how hard it is to do this, to get the bird on the camera to do this show. But it was amazing, the experience to be birding with James, getting those birds. It was really a cool experience.
Por el camino
corazón. Con sus canciones muy consentidas, mi guajirita alegre cantó.
Además que yo te diga que este ritmo es para ti, por eso viene a millón, por eso suena así.
Sitting on a station floor, heading back to a place you've never been before. And it's hard to be happy and you know it too.